In terms of economic volume, Putin recalled, in general Russia has overtaken Germany, becoming first in Europe and fifth in the world, but per capita we still need to try. So, having announced sanctions, the West believed that Russia would not withstand their economic onslaught. When Russia held out, the West decided that the country would not be able to hold out for long. Now the West has realized that they depended on our resources and not we on their premium sales market. Considering that millions of migrants arrive in the United States every year, this means that the United States needs extra barrels of oil and extra megawatts. That is energy. Without it, no one will move anywhere. Even the American police and border patrol need to transport migrants either back to the border with Mexico or from this border to other states. More recently, the British and Americans planned their millions of dollars in investments in the production of highly enriched uranium. Such uranium is considered in the United States as a raw material for the production of fuel for planned advanced nuclear reactors, which, according to the U.S. Department of Energy, will increase the energy security of the United States. Yes, indeed, at the moment the problem is this: commercial production of highly enriched uranium in the world outside of Russia simply does not exist. Highly enriched uranium is uranium enriched from 5% to 20% in the uranium-235 isotope. The lower limit corresponds to the maximum enrichment of uranium for commercial light water reactors, and the upper limit coincides with the conventional limit adopted by the IAEA for dividing uranium into low-enriched and highly enriched. And the volumes of enriched uranium planned by the U.S. Department of Energy will not be enough to support a program to create its own new nuclear reactors for the energy sector. This is just mathematics of numbers. The United States simply cannot do without Russian highly enriched uranium in the coming years and maybe even decades. According to the American Statistical Service, it follows that in October the United States imported oil from Russia for the first time in a year and a half and made a repeat purchase in November. In October, the United States purchased 36.8 thousand barrels of oil from Russia, paying $2.7 million for it. In November, the volume of purchases amounted to 9.9 thousand barrels for $750,000. In both cases, the hydrocarbon was purchased for domestic consumption. At the same time, 1 barrel of Russian oil cost the United States $74 in October and $76 the next month, which of course is significantly higher than their price ceiling. As they say, this is completely different. And the United States is exceptional in everything. It can bypass its own sanctions, otherwise its economy would have collapsed long ago. Without Russian uranium for sure. Several years ago, Recep Tayyip Erdogan challenged the United States, saying that we are not afraid of you. Come to us if you are not afraid of us. The USA simply remained silent and, of course, did not come. And now the Houthis have challenged the US by attacking their naval ship. Here, by the way, it is necessary to recall how in the mid-1990s the Iranian Border Service detained an American warship and arrested American sailors on it. What did the US do then? No, the US did not send G.I. Jane and her entire SEAL team on the submarine. The United States simply bought its team from Iran for $1 billion. Well, if there is an opportunity to avoid a battle, avoid it. Apparently, the United States, realizing that its military coalition of 20 countries did not scare the Houthis, rushed to the UN yesterday for help. The UN, of course, condemned the Houthi attack on the warship and also asked to avoid such incidents. This new year, the leader of the DPRK ordered his military, in the event of any provocation from South Korea or the United States, to immediately destroy the United States. The United States simply did not notice this threat from Kim Jong-un. And here are new challenges for the United States. From Iran. The Iranian Navy yesterday detained an American oil tanker in the waters of the Gulf of Oman by court order. To be more precise, it is not a challenge but not a subordination of the Slovak parliamentarians to the wants and wishes of the United States. The United States apparently wanted the Slovak parliament to condemn Russia for adopting missiles from North Korea, which is actually an unlikely and almost impossible option since Russia makes the best missiles in the world and in greater quantities. Vice Speaker of the Slovak Parliament Luboš Blaha wrote a harsh message to the American ambassador because of his request with such a condemnation of Russia. Russia is not an enemy for Slovakia, and we are trying to improve relations with it. And you, the United States, will have to come to terms with the fact that Slovakia is no longer an American colony.